Hi, this is Maria Sevilla with Sevilla Bodyworks. Today I'm introducing a new set of video series I'm calling 10-minute Pilates exercises. We all have busy days and it's hard for us to get some time into exercise. So I hope that everybody at least has 10 minutes they can get on the floor and do some exercising. This first series is going to be dedicated to abdominals, and all of the 10-minute series will be targeted to a different part of the body, so you can kind of use them as a playlist and you can kind of put them together. So this one is 10-minute abs. So let's get started. We're going to lie on our back, and when we're lying on our back, our knees are bent and our feet are flat, and they're about 6 bone distance apart, which are our little butt bones right here. So that's about a fist distance through the heels. I'm going to start by just lifting my arms up and reaching them back and stretching the front of my body. And when I'm doing this is I'm disassociating the arms from my torso and just kind of opening up my shoulders a little bit before I get started here. The last one I'm going to do is reaching back, holding that stretch, opening it up, and then letting my ribs drop down. I'm going to take my hands behind my head and we'll get going with the first ab curl. Let your head drop into your hands. Elbows are going to be in your periphery. You're going to take a deep inhale. And then exhale, we're going to curl up. Now it's important that when you're curling up that you're not yanking on your head. So you can see I'm just letting my head rest in my hands and I'm bringing my gaze down. Inhaling to come down, exhaling to come up. And working through that thoracic spine, getting a nice little stretch to the back of my neck. And I don't know, I usually count up to anywhere between 5 to 10. And then we're going to, on this next one, we'll go ahead and come up and stop. So we're going to come up and we're going to hold it right here. My elbows are pushing up towards the ceiling and also simultaneously pushing forward towards my knees. So I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to exhale. I'm going to pull my hands towards my hips. And as I'm doing this, I'm able to curl up just a little bit more. I'm going to hold that position, still gazing down between my legs. Bring my arms up behind my head and then gently come down. And then we'll do that a few more times. So exhale, curling up. Inhale for hold. Exhale, reach forward and bring it up and behind the head. And again, so this, you're going to start to feel a little burning through the upper abdominals, which is okay. That's just what this is for. And let's do a few more of these. Reaching forward and then coming up. And 2 more. And this last one, we're going to come up, reach forward, bring the arms up behind the head, and then down. So now I'm just going to reach and stretch and open and lengthen all that out, and then bring my hands down to my hips. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start from my tailbone. I scooted my feet in a little bit more. I'm going to tuck my tailbone. This is like called the Pilates scoop. And you're scooping your abdominals in, you're flattening your low back, and then I'm going to come back down. When I'm doing this, I'm warming up the low back and the abdominals simultaneously. So I'm letting that stretch happen in the low back, and then I'm using my belly to pull in. Then I'm going to hold it on this next one. I'm not over engaging my hamstrings here. I'm just letting it scoop in. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest. We're going to send the left leg out, stretch it nice and long. So just opening up the hip a little bit, bring the other knee in, and do the opposite side. And then both knees come in, and as both knees come in, you can see my glutes are lifted off of the mat and my back is flat. I'm going to try to maintain this position and then move my knees over my hips. So I have to challenge my abdominals here. I'm going to separate my knees so they're right over my hips. I'm going to start to do my toe taps. This is called toe taps. And you can see the shape of my leg is maintained. So I'm not dropping my heel towards my bottom, but rather I'm reaching out and away as I'm doing this. And this is challenging my low abdominals. I'm still thinking about keeping as much of my bottom off of the mat as possible. And I don't know, I've done about 5, maybe when I'm going to 7 or 8 here. I'm not always the best counter, but here we go. And then we're going to hold it up. Now we're going to go from here and we're going to reach the arms back behind us. We're going to take the hands behind, we're going to curl up again. Here we go. Now our head is curled up and knees are up. And I'm going to do the same thing here. And then as I'm moving, this is going to get a little bit harder, so we're challenging a little bit more. Still thinking about lifting up the crown of the head. And then I'm going to reach my arms forward and pedaling and curl up a little bit more. Pedaling those legs back and forth. So let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, and 2. Last one, and 1. We're going to bring the hands all the way up and then behind the head and come down and then rest the feet. Hands can come down by your side. And then let's bring them back one more time. Reaching up and then taking them behind the head. Exhale, curl up. We're going to go into some oblique work. So here I am in this curl again. Reaching the crown of the head up. I'm going to rotate right and I'm going to rotate left. I'm going to come center and then come back down. Alternating that position. I'll rotate right. My rights and lefts sometimes aren't always accurate, so excuse me for that. But now I'm rotating right and coming back to center and rotating left and coming back to center. But I'm alternating that first turn each time. And I'm pushing my elbow up and forward as I'm doing this so that I'm not losing any height. Lots of times I see people just walk all the way around like this. We're reaching up and rotating, up and rotating. It challenges those obliques a lot more. And then we'll do one more set, up and rotate, and then come back to center, finishing off by reaching forward, lifting up a little bit higher, bringing the hands up and behind the head and down. Reaching the arms again, stretching it out, hands down by your side. So now we're going to do that through the lower obliques, bringing those legs back up into that tabletop position, and then I want you to squeeze the knees together. So the knees are going to stay together, and we're going to let the pelvis lift off of the mat, just like so. So the pelvis lifts off the mat, but the rib cage stays down. So it's almost like you're doing a little twist from the lower end. Kind of going back and forth. I'm maintaining the shape of my legs and then maintaining this rib connection here. So you feel those lower obliques working. Careful not to go too far. You don't have to go too far to get those lower abs working. And then let's do 3 more each round. So one set going back and forth. And then another one. And then last time. And then we'll come back to center. Hold those legs there. And then I'm going to take my hands, reaching them back again, and then combining those two again. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate my knees. And I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to reach towards my right elbow towards my left knee, come back to center, and then left. So it's a little minimal movement with the hip joint. I'm not doing anything really big right now, but I am pushing my elbow and my knee up simultaneously and towards each other. And the head has to rest in the hands. You can't be pushing it forward. This is all work through your torso. We're going to do, let's do a set of 3. So 3 and 2, and then last one and 1. And then come back to center and drop your head, drop your legs. Stretch it all the way out, open it all the way up. So you see we kind of build up on these concepts so it gets a little bit more challenging. We're going to roll ourselves up. Now you can pull with your legs if you need to on that first one. Sometimes you do. Reaching over and then gently coming back down, especially if your back is tight, or like me, I've done these like 3 times today. So I'm a little tired. And then reaching forward and then coming back. So these are just our standard roll-ups. These look easy. If you haven't done these before, if you've not done Pilates before, these can be quite challenging. So that first one you saw, I sort of helped myself up with my legs, and you might need to do that also as you're going down, kind of grabbing your legs for support, and that's totally okay. You know, pulling, kind of taking it through, and again, that's just, some of it is like tight low backs, and it just takes time for you to sort of work all that out. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more of these. Reaching forward, stretching it out. This actually feels really good. And then come back down. And then because I like to mix things up, I'm going to challenge you now with some pulses. So we're going to reach forward, stretching, and then we're going to scooch down to where the top of our sacrum, so that's our pelvis, touches the mat. We're gonna hold it here, we're gonna do some pulses up and down. Targeting that low belly, pulling it in, reaching those legs away, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then taking it all the way down, oh, stretching it out. Don't you like how I keep lifting those arms up for you? Because as much as we're targeting our abdominals and working all of that, we need to also lengthen those muscles, especially after working so hard. So let's make it a little bit different here again, and we're gonna hold the Smith position. I'm gonna slide my right knee in and then slide it back out. But I'm thinking about bringing my knee to my chest. So right here, I'm also targeting these abdominals really deeply, holding this position. And then let's hold it here and bring the hands up and behind the head. And then I'm gonna rotate towards that knee, coming up a little bit, and then back down. And lift and rotate towards that knee, and back down. Lift, rotate, come back down. Let's do one more. And you're like, wow, this 10 minutes seems to go, it's taking forever. And then bring the hands up, other side, lift up, and then come back down. And I'm planting this foot. I'm really trying to stabilize with that opposite leg. 3, 2, and 1. Reach it forward. Let's hold it here just for a moment. Breathe it in, exhale. Go all the way down, and then just stretch it out one more time. And we're just gonna have to take it back up. Oh, and that's the hard one, that last one, because we're tired. Reach and stretch, and now we get to luxuriate. So we're gonna come back down, and then we're gonna reach the arms one last time, and then we can circle them around, open them out to the side, scooch myself down because I don't want to run into these posters, and then I'm just gonna drop the knees to the side. You want to open all of this up, and then come back to the center, and then drop to the opposite side. Whew. Taking a deep breath in, and coming back. Let's do one more each side. It's really nice in this room. Sun is coming down, it's the end of the day. Did 10 minutes of abs. Excited to have some healthy dinner with a glass of wine. Bring the knees in, and then I'm gonna roll up. And that's it. So if you feel like that was really challenging for you, remember, practice makes perfect, or practice at least makes better, maybe not perfect. So please just continue to keep going. Stop when you need to. And it's always great to look back at some of my other instructional videos that teach you how to do the proper ab curl and some of the more detailed aspects of really getting into those abs well. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again soon.